We're here with John Chiang, the State Controller of the great state of California, and a very honored and esteemed AAA-Fund honorary board member. John, you're going to be speaking tomorrow, is that right?
That's right.
At the convention. What are your remarks going to focus on?
Well, we're going to talk about how we need to create one America again. For the last 8 years, America's been struggling under leadership that has divided our great people. We are at our best when people are supportive, when we have our great dreams and aspirations. And I'm going to talk about that's why the candidacy of Barack Obama is so critical at this juncture in American history.
Can you tell us a little bit about the environment over here and what people have been telling you?
I think there's a lot of energy. Some people are still coming in town. I think people are waiting for tonight to see if Senator Kennedy shows up. He's been a lion of the Democratic Party, obviously part of a great family that's made significant contributions to America's progress. And then certainly Michelle Obama this evening. But like this convention, I think, has seen the greatest Asian Pacific American participation.
I think that's right. Now let's talk about the speakers. There's you, there's Tammy Duckworth, there's Mike Honda. Who else am I leaving out?
I don't know.
I think y'all, and that's probably the most of any convention, right?
I'm not sure.
Okay, and now let's talk about what's going on in California right now. Obviously, our state's faced with a $15.2 billion deficit. And can you give our readers a bit of a background on what's been going on with the governor and his threat to pay state workers minimum wage?
Well, the governor's frustrated with the budget impasse. He decided to take action where he issued an executive order requiring me to pay minimum wage to the public servants of California. I stood up and said, that's wrong. These people are good, hardworking people who keep moving California forward. They're the doctors, they're the engineers, they're the teachers, they're the healthcare workers. Obviously, we should not put them and their families in financial harm's way. We have an economy that is weakening in California. We're going to turn that around. But this step is an unprecedented step that indicates and sends the wrong signal to Californians about our fiscal health.
What do you think? Do you think that we'll be able to, the legislature and the governor will be able to agree on a budget within about a month? Because from what I understand, there's about a month's worth of funds left to pay employees at the full wages right now?
Well, we have sufficient funds to pay all state obligations through the month of September and deep into October. However, to protect ourselves, we're in the process of doing our annual borrowing. California has borrowed 24 out of the last 25 years. The question is, do we use a regular note, or do we have to go to a warrant, which costs the taxpayers of California significantly more money? And that's why I've strongly stated that the governor and legislature need to get to the table to come up with a timely and sound budget so that we don't imperil hard-earned taxpayer dollars.
What's the difference between a warrant and a note?
A warrant, revenue anticipation warrant, is much more expensive. We would have to pay hundreds of millions of dollars more because it takes a credit enhancement. A signed budget is the credit enhancement in essence for a note.
I see. Now, you took office as controller after having served as chair of the State Board of Equalization. Can you describe the change it's been for you?
It's excellent work. I get to add to my portfolio healthcare and investments, auditing. I continue to serve on the Board of Equalization, so working on tax policy, and more importantly for me, financial literacy. It's important that we create economic strength in California families.
Now, lastly, you're only the 4th Asian American to serve statewide in California's history. How hard was it to get there?
It's a great challenge. Obviously, it's a big state. We have 37 million plus people in California. 4.2 million voters voted for me, 3.3 voted for my opponent. And to reach deep into those communities, to reach out and go to and traverse the state is a formidable physical challenge. But I had significant supporters who were very energetic, very passionate, and the AAA-Fund was there helping me, so I'm most appreciative.
Now, last question on Asian Americans in California specifically. Do you think we're there yet in terms of reaching our full potential in California?
No, we're not even close, but we are growing, and we're going to be a potent force in the future. I think we're going to make significant positive change. We're going to have more elected officials, we're going to have more appointees, we're going to have more judges, and it's only going to make California stronger. And I believe we represent new leadership. Not only are we going to advance Asian Pacific Islander Americans, but we're going to bring other people to the table, people who historically have been part of vulnerable populations and have been left behind. we've been left behind, but we're going to make sure other communities are not left behind.
And last question for you. A lot of Asian Americans took some time in supporting Barack Obama. Can you just talk about the process it's been?
Well, there's a lot of energy. I think there's a lot of organic growth, especially among the young Asian Pacific Americans. They are going to lead this future, and I think the fact that they're interested in public governance and civic democracy is a very strong and encouraging signal.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.